The Working Artist Project is brought to you by Second Line Arts Collective. Learn how you can support at secondlinearts.org.
We're creating a platform for those who are curious, one that tells the story from the artist's perspective. Moments in time, captured from the innovators who are reshaping dance, music, theater, and the visual arts. This is the Working Artist Project.
Welcome. I am not Greg. If you saw the picture at the beginning, I am not Greg. My name is Jeanette Berry. Had to get that out of the way.
All right. What's up, Jeanette? And what's
How
up,
are you?
everybody? I'm good. Welcome back to the Working Artist Project. My name is Darrian Douglas. And as you guys can see, like I said last week, Greg is out. He's on vacation. I think he's in Alaska or Aruba or something with an A. I don't know.
I would hope it's Aruba.
But he's having a good time chilling out. But in the meantime, we have the incomparable Jeanette Berry with us, and she's Jeanette is a beast. So y'all gonna enjoy yourself
Oh,
tonight.
thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's jump right into it. I do want to I'm gonna go ahead and let you go ahead and introduce our guest tonight, and then we're gonna get right to the show.
Wonderful. So I met this amazing singer in Philadelphia. She is taking Philly, Baltimore, New York, the Eastern Seaboard, I guess, and actually overseas too by storm. She is a Baltimore native, and she's going to tell us more about herself, her journey, how she feels about being a working artist in this time period, pandemic or not. And I'd like to welcome Miss Lee Mo to our conversation.
What's up?
Yo, what's good? Welcome.
I am here for that
Thank you.
applause.
Thank you. Yes, that feels really great.
I like to surprise the guests with my all my little my little tricks back here. I got.
Amazing.
Yeah. Where are you at right now?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm in Baltimore. I'm
Oh,
in
you're in
Baltimore
Baltimore.
right now. Yeah, I was working down here throughout the weekend. So I stopped by my mother's house. So I'm with you with the heat, okay?
All
Because she
right.
does not have a fan in here. Okay, so yeah, I'm chilling down here for a second, but I'll be making
Nice.
my way back to Philly shortly.
Okay,
Lovely.
That's what's up.
Mhm.
That's what's up.
So I've seen you on the scene and such, and actually got you to sing some stuff for me in a little show in New York. But like,
Mhm.
tell us how you got to Philly. What made you choose Philly? Because that's where we met.
Mhm. I well, Temple University is what brought me to Philly. I went to Temple to study jazz performance and jazz studies. So yeah, that's what brought me to Philly. I graduated high school in '09, so I've been living in Philly since.
Yeah.
After I graduated, even I stuck around. And yeah, I just really fell in love with the culture, and they embraced me and the arts community and musicians. So that's really what gave me kind of like the feel good kind of confirmation, like I can really make a community here. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, you guys, because this is our third week in a row having someone from Baltimore, which never happened. We've never had
Really,
anyone.
yeah, I saw
Yeah,
Thelgian was on there.
yeah. And Brent Burkhead was
Yeah.
was was the
Oh,
week
Brent.
before.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
that's crazy.
And with the exception of Brent, it seems like there's like a direct pipeline from Baltimore to Philly. And so, what kind of inspired you to get out of Baltimore and head to Philly?
Well, like I said, I went to college there or in Philly, so that was really my kind of like push out of out of my hometown. But I had visited Philly before, but really honestly, I didn't all the way know what I was getting into. When like when I got on campus and stuff, I had visited before, but I think it was enough of the similarities
Mm.
between the two cities Even like just looking around, like I feel like I'm on North Avenue right now when I'm on Broad Street. Like, so there was that familiarity that I think made me kind of want to stick around and, see what was going on. But it was definitely once I started like meeting more musicians and started like getting out and kind of hanging with them in sessions and things like that, that really made me like, okay, Philly is really like popping. Like it's music every night somewhere.
Yep.
Yes, yeah. And at that time that I had moved or had got to Philly, we had like they had the soul sessions at Time. They had the Walnut Room. They had some other things going on. They had Parkside was a new session that came up after that Man was hosting. But it just seemed like there was so much music happening all the time. And I kind of got my foot in through the gospel scene because although I was studying jazz, I was directing the gospel choir at Temple. And I was also playing trumpet in a gospel band with Angela White or Angie White, who is an artist from Philly. She's from, you might know her voice from Ty Tribbett and GA, so that was like I was like pretty like starstruck at the time, like, cause I really idolized,
Yeah.
like I idolized them. So it was just really like exciting to just be around all of the music and things. And then just to continually discover more and more about the artists that live there, that are from there, that, have contributed to the culture. It's just, I don't know, it just felt right to kind of stay and plant my roots there for that next phase like of my life.
I love that.
Yeah.
I like asking singers this because I don't get to talk to a lot of singers publicly.
Mm-hmm.
So who were some of your either teachers or inspirations when you were in Philly? Like, who were you being like, oh man, I need to study with them, or I need to like just go watch them? Like, did you have that, and who was that?
Mm-hmm. So when I was at Temple, I studied with Joanna Pascal. She was my teacher there.
Nice.
And I also worked with Carla Cook.
Yeah.
Yes. And whoo, like as far as improv and just that other side of just like attacking like melody and harmony. I really enjoyed working with them both. But I would say, I don't know, like let me see. I would say Lauren Talese for sure.
Shout out to Lauren.
Yes, Lauren Talese is one of the first singers that I heard. And when I heard her, I was like, who is that? Yeah.
I sang with her second alto in choir when she was, I guess, a senior and I was a sophomore or whatever. We were 2 years apart.
Yeah, you
I
were.
was like, yes. I was like, oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes.
Amazing. I mean, just her tone, just
stunning.
I love Lauren. Yes. And I really, I appreciated just not even just watching from a distance, but I appreciated her, reaching out to me, and making that access available, and I've been able to, like, I look up to her more than she probably realizes, but I do look up to her as somebody who's setting like a real example as an artist, but as like, a professional, as, like she just, I just really like how she carries herself and how she represents herself. So her, like, what she does really stood out to me, and it was really cool to like connect with her. Chris Stevens, trumpet player, arranger, composer extraordinaire, like just musical mastermind. He's another artist, musician in Philly that really embraced me. And he was actually the one who was trying to get me to audition for Angie's all-girl band. But he heard me play the piano and was like, oh, I know she need a piano player. I was like,
You talking about Angie Stone?
No, Angie White. I'm sorry. She's she's a gospel artist. But we were together at Temple, and we had met there as well, in like a history of pop class. And so, but just being introduced to him, and and connecting the dots, like, wait, this is one of GA's like musical masterminds as well. Cause I was like, sound check. Like, oh, I was really a fan, like really a fan. So just to be able to like connect with him on that level, but then to be brought in as one of the featured singers for his band Vertical Current, that was like that was happening at the same time, like while I was in school. So I'm like, not my freshman year, but I think my sophomore year, we opened for Robert Glasper. And I was just like, you know, just all just all the opportunities, you know, that he kind of brought me in with their band and the, you know, the originals and the arrangements, and just like really, I'm just really appreciative because it gave me a chance to just really see like behind the scenes, like the process. And I've been behind the scenes and stuff, but it was just like a next level type of experience that it really opened me to, exposed me to. But singers, Lauren Talese, I think she's probably my favorite singer in Philly to be. Yep.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
What I'm curious because, you know, you get if you're on a stage with Robert Glasper, right away I'm like, oh, you the baddest motherfucker in the world. Like, or you know, you got to be in the top 5. So what inspires you, you know, like at this point in your life?
What inspires me? I'm going to say my journey, the obstacles that I've faced but have been able to overcome, or, you know, make it through, push through, and having music has been like a big part of like getting through those hardships. And really music just having or being that space to just get healing, to get, you know, to express, to get release, to just really like kind of travel away to like a different place, if you will. Like in the movie Soul, like when he's like at the piano and he's just like, ever since I was a little girl, like that feeling has not gone away. You know what I'm saying? Like that keeps bringing me back to it every time, no matter how desolate or, you know, overwhelming things might be. But I'm inspired. And then I'm inspired because I kind of like surprise myself too in the process of like what I can actually do, you know, or what I can actually create, or what whoever it is that I'm, you know, exchanging, doing this musical exchange or this conversation with. I'm just always delighted and inspired by what comes from that, even if I was reluctant, or, you know, it's just like once I put everything down and open my mouth and sing, or just like give myself to the moment, that's what lets me know, okay, this is a part of healing. You know, this is a real part of like, you know, my gifting, like to myself, but also like to others. So that really inspires me, and it's just fun too. Like it's fun to create, it's fun to sing, it's fun to get better. You know, it's fun to be quiet. You know, it's fun to just listen sometimes. So music really allows me to kind of go through all of those different like stages, and, you know, still come out with like a new understanding of myself in the world, you know. So that's inspiring to me.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that.
Well,
Do you have some folks that you would at this point in time want to have new musical conversations with? Who's some people you want to work with?
Absolutely. It's so many people I want to work with.
You know, like kind of the pandemic has like made me think, oh, people can just do so much stuff online. Like if somebody's in Cali, they can record something for me. So, you know,
speaking of California, earlier this year, I got to meet Daru Jones, who is an amazing drummer and somebody I have been following for a couple of years. We have been following each other. And it just so happened that we were in LA at the same time, and we got to link with another producer out there and just like create some like cool stuff. But it was, you know, it was like a short amount of time, but I'm looking forward to like, you know, getting back into that, because it was just like, I don't know, like going to a different state and like meeting new people there, and like, but still like getting to know, like building a bond musically, and then creating. It's just something that's just like, yo, because I feel like in the past, we work with so many people, but like Darrian said, like the last time we did a gig was a couple of years ago. So it's like you see people and then you don't see them again. You know what I'm saying? Do you remember me? Like, but to get kind of like a taste of that, I'm really looking forward to building with that. Also, Jermaine Holmes, who's a amazing vocalist, songwriter. I've kind of been getting pulled in to their like creative world, but I'm looking forward to just like going in deeper more. There's a lot of friends that I just have in Philadelphia that we've not yet actually like come together and created something new that I really would like to do. Eric Wortham, Lauren, I want to write with Lauren, Chris Stevens. Like we've done stuff, but I'm talking about like a next level, type of thing. So many people from Philly, Baltimore, so many amazing musicians. I've got to check out the jam session down here a couple times. Theljan come through, Brent, like all of them.
Yeah,
I want to work with Quincy Phillips, like you name it, Pharrell. Yeah,
you're right.
I was talking about that earlier. I do want to work with Pharrell. Like he's one of the bigger names, I guess you could say, that I would love to work with, because I feel like he meshes like musicality and musical ideas, but he meshes them with like this really fresh current sounds and sonics. And I would be like really interested to see what we could
create. Yeah, I love that. You should just DM Pharrell, you know what I'm saying? DM him.
I was like, can't you just, I'm like, I don't really have like Pharrell's phone number. And I'm like, how many other people are like DMing Pharrell like right now? But yes, I'm gonna, what I want to do is like produce some covers. And that's another thing that I love to do, is just like arrange and like, harmonize and all that kind of stuff. So I want to take a couple covers from artists that I want to work with, and maybe like, use that to kind of like, hey, what's up?
Listen to me.
Yeah,
I did it. Like that. So
do it.
Mm-hmm.
Look, let's go ahead and take a moment right now, and we'll take a listen to the music that you create. I don't really know what to call it, because you merge, you kind of like merge everything into one. So
yeah.
What is it? Soul jazz? What do you soul? What is it?
It's definitely soul more than anything else, just because of all the other elements that are in to combine it. I feel like soul is definitely the best kind of umbrella term, because I have gospel influence, I have jazz influence, I have R&B influence, but soul, I think that speaks to the essence of, what it is that I do, regardless of whatever genre is like in the forefront at that moment. Like R&B is probably what you could label my songs that I sent you, maybe R&B, maybe like a jazzy R&B, but soul is definitely the overarching term. Yeah,
we're gonna call it the neo soul. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine. That's fine with me.
All right, check this one out.
That's cool.
Check this one out.
Baby, I hope you're listening to the words I've got to say, baby, 'cause this could be the last day, baby, for our love. You see, we've gone through it all, baby, and I'd hate to see us fall, but you gotta get that act together. Don't just take advantage of me. Said I'm tired of the stormy weather. It's been raining too long on me. Yeah, this is your warning. I'm giving you one
that shit is fucking bad, man.
Killing.
That's so killing. You know, the first thing I thought,
you.
y'all, was, you should be opening for PJ, because
Right.
this is some
Right.
other shit right here. You need to hit PJ up and be like, yo, man,
Bet.
whoever you got is trash. You need me.
Oh my goodness. You know what?
Yo, somebody write
Bet.
PJ a message right now.
Right now.
Tag
Right now.
Limo.
Oh my God.
Tell him I said it.
Facts. Absolutely. Can you
Thank you for that. I love PJ Morton. Yeah, I love PJ. He's one of my favorite artists, really. Yeah.
who was on that record? Who was playing on that record?
Yes. So that is Eric Watley on bass from Philly. That is Harry Wilson on guitar, Philly. That is Mario Crew on drums, Philly. That is CJ Branch. That is, and I actually got a friend from Baltimore, Josh Thomas, to play keys on that particular track. And later on in the song, there is a trumpet solo from Chris Stevens.
Nice.
So yes, I got him on there. Yeah, he blazed it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna say this one more time, man. If y'all out there listening, a lot of my friends play with PJ. Yo, tell PJ what I said. Tell him what I said. I mean,
I love you, PJ. Yeah, we've been meaning to get up. So yeah, holla at me.
yeah, that's right. Get at him, dog.
Amazing.
Thank you.
What are you working on now?
What am I not working? I'm always writing. I've been writing so much since the beginning of everything. I spent some time in Baltimore during the pandemic, and I just really tapped into just a flow of a creative space, and just trying to just listen really to what I'm really trying to say, or what I'm really hearing, or what I'm really feeling. So right now I'm really just kind of going through a lot of the things that I've written, and choosing, okay, 'cause I have a couple of different projects that I could easily, kind of package or put together based off of these songs that I've created. Some sweets, some just some movements of just I press record and I have 7 songs from beginning to end that I just sung straight through, and it is just about one suite I have is a space suite, where it's just this it's just this kind of okay, there's a lot of stuff going on down here, I want to go to space. But that's kind of ironic, funny, because they're actually going to space right now, but that's another topic.
Yeah.
But I'm more so in kind of a fantasy kind of way, just me and my boo, my bae, let's go to space, just and let's just kind of get away from all of these other things. And the sounds I'm using are very just galactical and but very smooth and very, just floaty and easy. And, that's definitely a space that I like to go to, when I'm creating, and I want to present that kind of that side to people. So that's one thing I'm working on. I'm working on a project that's more based on just that process or that stage that a person might find themselves in with a romantic, well, no, let me start over. It's where you might find yourself right before you just decide, okay, now I'm ready to really let all of this go and move on. But let me just address a couple of these things real quick.
Right.
How you had me
right.
Kind of in that last song that you heard, which was I'm giving you one last chance. So you either go and get it or you're not. I'm gonna, play this very fairly and give it my best shot. But if the answer is no, then we can just go ahead and move on.
Right.
So I have some songs kind of in that vein, because I have a lot of things to say when it pertains to relationships. I do. I do. I have a lot to say as it pertains to relationships. I'm opinionated. So I am.
Let's hear it. What's your opinion? Let it
It's too
out.
much. It's too much right
What's
now.
what's the first thing that comes to your head when like when we say relationships? What do you like? That's it right
Mm.
there.
Games.
Games. Mm.
I didn't know
Mm.
what to play them, but I'm somehow always like, not always, but I've had my, share of just kind of like, thinking I'm being like kind of set up for one thing, and it's like, no, it's not. And then it's just like, we really didn't even have to do all this, like you could have
Right.
just, yeah.
You gotta forgive us, man. It takes us about 30 years.
Only 30?
About
Woo,
about 30 years
child.
before your brain turn on, and then another 5 years for it to get all the way
For the
on.
to catch
So
up. Yeah.
so by the time you're 68, you ready.
You're ready. Great. Everybody's happy.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely have some songs where I'm just like, kind of just venting, really. But also the thing about this particular project that I'm talking about is that I'm admitting like, okay, where I, taking some accountability as well, and like certain things that I could have done differently or better, or, or even replaying the story from a kind of role switch where I would have liked for things to kind of play out a different way,
Mm.
so
Yeah.
yeah.
Earlier you mentioned you had about the space concept, and I'm
Yes.
I'm kind of curious, like what things were making you want to get the fuck out of here. Like what events were inspiring you to escape?
Well, I mean, I think it could have definitely been in the thick of like the Breonna Taylor kind of thing that was happening last year. It was a lot of unrest. I remember like, one time it was an announcement of, they're boarding up the courthouse, before they announced like the verdict or whatever the newest update or decision was. And although that wasn't directly the reason, I think I've always kind of been interested in space, actually. I've always been interested. Like last summer, I spent a lot of time just watching like movies that were, about space. Like oh, Interstellar, especially. Like that's one of those movies for me. It's just the imagination of it all. It's the possibilities of it all that I was talking
Yeah.
about too. Just like, it's so many elements of like oppression that we deal with, and we still show up. And it's just kind of like there's no gravity in space, or there's it's like what would it feel like if these things weren't just weighing us down all the time?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what would love feel like in a place where these elements are just things that I don't have to even like worry about or think about? So that's definitely one aspect of it. And I guess just also dealing with certain things in the past with relationships, and just imagining something different in that way too. Like earth, done with the earth is one of my lyrics. I was just like, done with the earth, like, like just, but yeah. But I'm not completely over it, but just more of an imaginary fantasy type of space. I've always been it's always been like really, really fascinating, to me, space and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I love that. So when we spoke earlier off camera, you mentioned spaces where artists can produce. So talk to us a little bit about where or what you would like to see for artists to be able to have the safety and to produce the things that they want to produce.
The safety, that's like the perfect word. That has to be kind of like built in,
Yeah.
to whatever the space is. I would say different things. One, I would say, like I was talking about sessions and things like that earlier. I got the chance to co-host a jam session at South in Philly. It's a fairly new venue. Well, it's been around for a couple of years now. I think 2015 they opened, or
Yeah.
somewhere around that time. But I was able to co-host a weekly session there for 2 years. And during that time, I was able to kind of pull a lot of singers, from the city who might not necessarily have been jazz singers, but who very much had the interest and the ability to sing. And what I was constantly hearing from a lot of my friends or people who would just come out to see is that this is one of the most singer friendly sessions in the city, because there is like a elitism, and there is like a snobism
Yeah.
when it comes to it. And I think there is a place for people to, set the who have set the tone and who have laid the groundwork and the foundation to uphold like that standard. But at the same time, I think there's a certain element that pushes people away, and it's rather discouraging, that I think I would like to see more people be encouraged and, to come out. Because if you're at a session and you see somebody like take the mic out of somebody's hand, you like, yo, and I've seen it,
Yep.
it's just
Me
like,
too.
woo, tough crowd. No, tough host, tough like
Tough
in-house,
host. Yep. Exactly.
and so that matters, so I have been thinking about, it's funny because I was just talking about it again with a friend, and this is like even more like confirmation, for me to like really get those wheels turning and like really bringing it to fruition, is to create a space for singers more specifically, and just sharing like, okay, I went to school for jazz, sure, I've studied theory, I've studied gospel, and I have a certain way that I approach music, and there's a certain way that I love to relay, how I process music. And if that can help, other singers to apply to what they're doing and give them confidence to like, okay, then it's like, okay, then we can really create that community of singers and create that, that accountability, so that we can get better. Because I do want us to get better,
Right.
as we're doing this type of stuff. But you have to feel safe, in order to really like give yourself to those type of moments to even get better. Because a lot of it can be discouraging and intimidating. But yeah, I would like to see more encouragement, just from artist to artist. I think there could be more reaching out, more collaborative efforts, more hanging out really off the bandstand, just like getting so many people that like the pandemic made me realize I don't know you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know you.
Yeah.
Why am I doing this? Why are we doing this?
Right.
And it's like not to be scared of like pushing past that surface, because it's only going to deepen the connection. It's only going to enrich the music. It's only going to enrich the relationships, which will ultimately, I think, enrich the culture and what's being, put out, and creating a new cycle. You know what I'm saying? So I think I would like to see that in some way, physical form. I have to do my part as well, to kind of like make myself available for those type of moments. And I want to too, but just more of that. And one more thing, I would say just more like honesty and transparency about kind of the things that are going on behind the scenes. I think a lot of people are, or have been, myself included, kind of rather isolated, or rather like by ourselves in this kind of journey, even though there are people around. But it's just kind of like, you got to feel safe to like really like open your mouth and be like, hey, how much do you get paid for this? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, because otherwise you go with emotions and you just kind of let things kind of happen, when it doesn't have to be that way, but you have to know that you can trust people. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh man, you said so much just now, so many directions, and we could spend 5 hours talking about all of that stuff. But since we at the money, let's talk about the money,
Oh boy.
because yeah, because we don't, and I think also, I think from interviewing a lot of different women, it seems like sometimes women don't get paid the same as men, and it's a lot of times it's just because nobody talks about it, like you said. Like, okay,
Mhm.
cool, bro. How much does this
Mhm.
gig pay? And nobody will say anything. It's like, wait a minute.
Mhm.
Everybody's scared to
Mhm.
say what they got paid because of
It's
whatever
usually not
reason.
much.
Because you don't know, or it's
Yeah.
different, or mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's got to be some kind of like collective bargaining happening where we all like, okay, agree as
Mhm.
artists, as a contracted artist, like we're not gonna work for less than this collectively.
Yes.
And also we should just as friends talk about what the bread is.
As
You know?
friends, yeah, because like it's the thing that made me realize, even like the pandemic really stopped everything in an amazing way. It made you really really reflect. And it's just kind of like, if we can't be honest with each other about these things, why, once again, why are we doing
Why are we
this?
doing
Right.
this?
You
Yep.
know, because when the gigs stop, I've I feel like the friendship should keep going,
Right.
you know. But when it comes to money, so I don't know, for me, there came a point where I just decided to talk with somebody, and we said, no, it was two different things that happened. I talked to somebody who used to manage artists. And so this was aside from anybody who was necessarily in the jazz or musician scene per se, but they gave me, they was like, you know what, at your level and at your, you know, what you're doing, this is a standard industry price. And I didn't know. And it was much more, you know, it was much more than what I was getting really ever.
Yeah.
And so, so while that number was given to me, and that was something like I kept like, okay, this is for me, or like in my head to know like, okay, what I can compare that to. At the same time, it's also like, okay, you just know like some gigs are not paying that much. You know, some gigs are simply not going to be the budget where everybody's walking away with $600. You know what I'm saying? That would, you know, not every time. We getting there,
Yeah.
you know, but just knowing that it's even possible for you to actually like ask questions, for you to, you know, I feel like it's a silence type of thing. And it definitely even more so as a woman, you know, because there's definitely like a thing, a dynamic there. But I think what works to my advantage is I think I have enough like, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm from Baltimore. I don't know. But people be like, you know what? I don't want to mess with you. So I'm gonna give you your money and we be good. I haven't had too much
No problem with that.
That's good.
issue in that area. But no, when it comes to friends and transparency, that is something like that is like needed. And I think especially going back and moving back into the real full swing of things, musicians really have to take it upon themselves to open their mouth and like change
Yeah.
that narrative.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, we got to know our power because, you know, like the venue ain't open without you, baby. So it's like, all right, cool. I ain't playing. Now what? If you hit
Facts.
everybody up, nobody playing, you got to pay.
Correct.
Facts.
You got to pay.
Facts.
So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And no is not a bad word.
It's my
No is
favorite
not a
word.
bad word.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah,
Period.
Might be the
Alright.
best word.
Woo.
Right? It's definitely my favorite word. I want to play one more song. We getting close to
Okay.
time, but I want to play this other song you sent us. Here we go.
Cool.
Whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah. Tell me why every time she comes around, my head starts spinning. Is there something going on? Or maybe I'm just tripping. But there's this one thing that's got me tempest tossed. But I don't want this to be another love that's lost. Because I can't sleep at night, and thoughts keep running through my mind. I don't know the reason why,
did it again. You did it again. That's crazy. And I just so you know, men get their heart broken too, y'all. It just ain't exclusive to y'all. I don't have a reason. How about that?
How about it? Hey, anybody that can relate. That song is for anybody that that can relate to it. That's definitely another one of those songs in that vein that I was talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? You're a great storyteller, man. Because like,
Thank
and I'm
you.
sure Jeanette was feeling this too. I saw Jeanette vibing. She got some heartbreak. I saw that.
Oh, of course.
And like you telling the story is taking me back to the first girl that broke my heart in the 8th grade, 9th grade. It was in 9th grade.
Wow.
Yeah, should I say her
Man.
name? I'm not gonna say her name.
No, don't
Okay.
do that. Don't do that to her.
I'm happily
Amazing.
married now, so I got to go way back. I got to go
Way back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like songwriting and arranging, vocal arranging is such a gift, and you have it, and like that
thank
is
you.
what the whole story is, the song, and you can tell through all the texture, the harmony, everything, just
Thank
lyric,
you.
melody, everything. Amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you. What I will say about that song is that and generally speaking, like another thing I want to do, or a mission that I kind of have with my music just in general, is that I like to highlight sort of like the in-between stages between before maybe the decision is made, or like there's a lot of songs about I'm leaving, or it's done, it's over. But it's like, what about the kind of in-between space? It's like, you know what? I'm seeing something here that I'm not liking. And I'm like, before I, based off of whatever, because we draw our conclusions from different things, like our own trauma, but also what our girlfriends are telling you.
You're too loud right now with that. You're
listen,
too loud.
what movie you saw? Because I'm like, you know what? I saw this movie already.
Right.
I saw this.
Right.
And, but I'm still trying to be here in the moment, present, and not like, okay, let me not sabotage. But at the same time, I'm not stupid. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all of those kind of thoughts that you find yourself in, and it's not really, I don't know, maybe you kind of feel like it's not enough time to kind of really like focus on whatever like that. And so yeah, that's kind of what I like to do. So this song was just kind of like, it's my intuition, but that type of thing. So yeah.
I love
telling
it.
the story.
I love it.
Thank you.
Hey, Jeanette, she got us with that one. I ain't gonna lie, man. I was like,
Right.
don't have a reason, shit, man.
Right.
Wow, okay.
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
we've all been there.
Yeah, we've been there. I mean, that can even relate to the bandstand too, because sometimes it's time to leave a band.
Yo, that was the biggest heartbreak, like, because I said goodbye to my own band. I was like, yeah, we're done. But that was a really hard decision.
Wow.
Like, to tell your bandmates, yeah, our time has come. That was a bad breakup, like, just for me. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right, Darrian.
Yeah. You got it.
Yeah.
I always tell cats, man, every gig ends, man. Everything has a
A
shelf
beginning
life.
and an ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard, but sometimes you gotta be like, y'all, that's it, y'all.
Yeah. And endings are not bad either.
No.
Yeah, that's not a bad, kind of concept either. But it's just so much anxiety and so much like heaviness and all of these feelings that, precede getting there. It's just like, yeah. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Listen, we coming to the end, and before we leave, I definitely want to give you a chance, Limo, to tell the people where to buy your products, your CDs,
Cool.
your everything you got. Tell them
Cool.
where to get at you.
Well, my website is a one-stop shop. So if you just go to limomusic.com, everything is there. All my tabs, all the music and things like that you can keep up with me and follow me. I'm also on social media, on Twitter. I'll be in the Twitter streets.
Love Twitter.
And I love Twitter. Twitter is a mess, but it's fun too. Musica Limo is my Twitter, MUSICA_LEEMO. And that's also my Instagram. which I post, updates and things like that as well. And I have a Facebook artist page, Lemo, Lee space MO dash artist page, and you can keep up with me on there too.
All right, cool. So y'all go to all
Yeah,
those places, check
All of
Limo out.
them.
All of them.
yeah.
Oh, do you have a
I'm
band
on the
camp?
I do not have a Bandcamp, but I am on all other digital outlets. So
Okay, so
search
Spotify
me,
and
Spotify, Apple Music, all of those things you can find
Add
me.
her to
And
all
you
your
can,
playlists, all of that.
yes. And I have some songs and things that I've done with other bands and artists too. So you'll be able to check that out as well. Brandon Williams, Ode to Omni, Vertical Current, Chrome L's, that's another band from Philly. So yeah, check me out.
Amazing. You
absolutely.
are brilliant and beautiful, and I'm so
Thank you
happy that
so
we got to
much.
interview you.
Thank y'all for having me. Like, thank you so much. It's really an honor and a pleasure.
Before, oh, absolutely. Thank you. Before we go, like if anybody's listening to this, PJ, man, hey, listen, Limo need to, I'm gonna say it
PJ
one more time.
Morton.
PJ Morton, hey, Limo need to open up for you because I
Facts.
came to about 8 of your shows and she better than everybody who was opening up for you. So I need you to
Ooh.
get it up. Come on, bro. You was popping, but come on. Get Limo on this joint.
Thank you. Thank you so
It has
bless
been
you.
said.
It has been said. I said what I said. I'm gonna
Thank
send him a
you.
text. I'm gonna send him an email or something, man.
Yeah.
I'm
I
upset.
appreciate that. I love you, PJ. I love PJ.
No, I love PJ too. I love PJ.
Yeah, yeah.
Me too.
I'm a big fan. He's definitely one of my influences for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank y'all so much for having me.
Thank you so much. All right, my name
Yeah.
is Darrian Douglas,
And I'm Jeanette Berry.
and this is the Working Artist Project. We'll catch y'all later.